mann som verkar bruka snuttelull.
Hello everyone, hello world. This is Shauna from Disrupt Apps LLC once again, and I haven't made a video in a few weeks, and that's because I don't want to be a YouTuber, but my channel is kind of a direct line to me as the sole developer and company owner for you to see of this transparent company. And today I just wanted to give a quick update on my project Amorphic Mesh that I've been working on, and I haven't been working on it a whole lot lately, not because I can't, it's just I've been really monitoring the socio-economic and political situation here in the United States. And so we're living in very concerning times right now, and considering how tenuous the circumstances are in America and across the world, I'm just going to see when's the right timing to come out with my projects and what I want to do with my company, and to basically become an alternative for big tech platforms and all the coming dystopia surveillance blockchain state that we're heading into, because I want to be counter to that. I want to be the company out there who promotes privacy and security, and the right to privacy and the right to security, and not having to be spied on, and having the right to encryption, totally antithetical to what this contemporary big tech establishment has for the end user. But with that long-winded introduction aside, you've just been looking at some of the code for my peer-to-peer privacy browser, and basically I've gotten to a good point with my project here, and here's all the code. And I'm writing this from scratch. I am not using artificial intelligence. I don't believe in it, and I have my reasons why. Because for one thing, if you want to be a coder, you need to know what you're doing and not just taking out code and making changes. So I always write all my code human written from scratch, because I'm old school. And I know I'm getting off on a tangent, but I think humans need to continue to use their brain, or they're going to be just easily manipulated fools. Anyway, again, I'm going on a tangent. Let me get to the demo here. So I'm in a good spot. I've hit my goals for where I wanted to get in this project for this early stage, and I'm building the project right now. And I know it looks ugly, but this is what development looks like, because you don't build a nice pretty product right out the chute unless you're using a chat GTP or whatever it is, or that crap is. But I'm laying out everything from scratch. I'm making sure that everything works. I'm coding it, I'm testing it. And what you're seeing here is basically different font sizes, background colors, strike-throughs, stuff you would expect in a typical web browser if you're used to CSS and HTML, right? And then here on the next one, you have left justification. Here you have right justification. And here with the green, you're seeing that I'm having rows and columns, right? And now we're getting into actual media. I was just rendering out text here, right? And here we're actually getting into images, right? And I've been playing around with different methods of rendering images with what the system that I'm creating. And here's a big size picture here that you can scroll with, and right? And here is just a static image that isn't scrollable, but you can see this is actually Iwakuni Castle in Iwakuni, Yamaguchi, Japan, that I've been there many times. So, and here are more test images for the development stage. I didn't take this picture here. This is actually a picture of Miyajima, or Itsushima Shrine in Hiroshima Prefecture. So, and then more pictures. Now we'll come down here, and here's a video player that I made, and it's basic and rudimentary and simple, and I want it that way. And so let's go ahead and play it. I need to turn down the volume here. And so you can hear the volume going up and down, right? And I've got the scrub where you can This video is actually from Iwakuni Castle. I took this video myself. So, and this is here in Japan. But I built this player with this particular system that I have that I'm using. And so you have the pause, you have the play and pause. You come down here and I have another video. And here's a it's a little service robot in Japan at Cafe Gusto, which is a chain restaurant all over Japan, and since they have worker shortages, they have these little cute robots that bring you your food. So yeah. And then another video here. This is just a train ride I took. I think this is in Kobe, Japan. And again, full volume control, pause, and you have the scrub option. So, and then I have another video here, and this is me in, I believe this is in Sasebo, Japan, and it's really a beautiful. Like I wasn't being a YouTuber, but like I said in this video, you're seeing this as I see it for the first time. This is my real reaction.
Oh my. Holy cow. That's amazing. Oh wow. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is.
Anyways, so, and I just put a bunch of videos on here, and so I know we're all used to the internet now and refined. You know, if you were around like I was when the internet first came around, you remember how simplistic and basic the internet was. And with the way that big tech has come and corporations have come in, they've really gussied up how it all looks, and they made it user friendly. And they've basically, in my opinion, they've over-engineered it, and they've engineered the internet to make you distracted and all these features, and it's all designed for your engagement. It's designed to keep you engaged. That's why the menus are all horribly buried, and that's why Facebook puts all that crap in your feed, and why Facebook makes it so hard for you to find anything and work with the platform. It's overly convoluted. And with this system I'm building here, with this browsing system, it's a back to basic system, and it's none of that bullshit that keeps you engaged, and you're not being manipulated. Because the way I see it, the internet is a tool, software is a tool. You should be able to use a tool to get your job done, not dick around on it. Excuse my French. I should be more ladylike, but you shouldn't have to spend all day just to watch a video or scroll through 800 things just to see the content of what you want to see. And this private peer-to-peer system I'm building is a private system. It's not owned by big tech. It's so people who are tired of big tech and all the crap that they're pulling on us, we can get away from it. And again, I'm building this from scratch because I want to be the founder and owner of this. This way I can get out here in the public and say, look, I built this from scratch. I documented it. I'm not here to screw you people over and steal your data. And, you know, at the beginning, I won't open source my code because, you know, eventually I'd like to get some compensation for all the unpaid work I've gotten and start something good. But eventually, when things pick up, I'll open source the code. And I'll go on here and I'll show you how I built it. Because I'm that committed to internet freedom and keeping the internet free, fair, private, and encryption, and to stop people from being manipulated. That's my goal of Disrupt Apps LLC. Because I hate the way the internet is going. I hate the way technology and big tech is dragging us into this blockchain, dystopian, constant AI surveillance state that we're heading. And we have to push back. And that's what I'm about. That's what Disrupt Apps LLC is about. It's a pushback, an alternative to this big tech hell dystopia they are dragging us into. So, anyhow, I know it looks bland and basic, but this is what real development looks like. This is not what this isn't what, all the YouTubers out there who show you what coding and development is like. They only show you the finished project and the stage. Look how great at coding I am. Well, that's not how it works. Everything starts out kind of ugly, but it's ugly for a reason. Now, this whole thing is like a web browser, because up here in the top left, where I'm kind of typing right now, you're going to type in kind of like an HTML or PHP, whatever, file up in here, and you're going to retrieve it from a person's server. And right now, I'm just using an Ian Canon file, which is just something I made up, but basically the system that I'm working is built from scratch. You can see index.encanon. So right now, this is kind of the file nomenclature that I'm going to use. And if you're familiar with HTML or XML, you can see that what I'm doing here is somewhat similar to HTML and XML. We're like, well, why don't you just use HTML or XML? Because I don't want to, because I want to use a kind of a standalone system that works only with this web browser. Yeah, it's going to be a little proprietary, but because our current system is set up to work on HTML and JavaScript and CSS, that's why we have such a huge problem with bots and pop-ups and all these things that attack you and spy on you and steal your data. If we have a closed private system, yeah, someone can get in here and make stuff up, but I'm just showing you that I'm building this, and basically everything that is rendered here, everything that you're seeing, I wrote out my own rendering engine that comes in here. It comes through all of this, and it parses all of these tags like a web browser parser would, like a web engine would. But this is a very simple and basic system, and it's done that way for a reason. So everything that you've seen here is rendered out of this file, right? So you can see here on this is my project folder, and you can see index.encanon, and I have different stages that I'm using, right? So these are the files. Like this would be an HTML or a PHP file. Well, this system's going to use a particular type of file nomenclature, and I haven't decided if I'm going to stick with this encanon yet. I don't know yet, but again, this is a passion project. This is something that I want to do in the fight against big tech and authoritarianism and this dystopian surveillance state that they want to push on us. And if there's no one out here doing this kind of work, who's going to do it? I'm willing to put in the time and effort. Eventually, I'm going to get out there in the public sphere and start doing public demos of this and making rounds to whatever conferences and just get in front of people and start showing my work so I can get more interest in this project. Because I think people are getting tired of big tech. They're getting tired of their games. They're getting tired of their data. People are starting to push back on this AI shit and AI slop and AI stealing our data and making it stupid. And I think eventually not everyone, but I think a lot of people are going to be wanting alternatives. And I want to be out there ready to provide an alternative. And I've got a great start on this platform, getting all the basics squared away, and then I can make it pretty looking. And I built this from scratch. I built the rendering engine. I designed the markup system, how to render everything, and using Qt. Doing it in C++, because working with C++ without a GUI, a framework, is almost impossible, and that's just a fact of the matter. And I'm someone who's anti-framework for the most part, but there's just some cases when you have to use a framework or library. Anyhow, once again, this is Shauna with Disrupt Apps LLC, just giving you a project update on my peer-to-peer browsing system. Well, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.